What is good, YouTube? This is Daniel, Veterans with Anxiety here, and we're back with another video today, guys. And check it out, today is going to be the part 3 video of how I got clean. I know this one's been taking a little while, I apologize for the wait, but hey, here it is. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave me some comments down below, and if you're not yet already, subscribe to the channel and then hit that post notification bell, switch it to all. That way you get notified of every single video as soon as they drop. Alright guys, stay tuned, watch this video to the very end, you're not gonna want to miss this one, alright? So I get up and it's early in the morning on August 31st of 2020. It's about 6 a.m. and my first Suboxone appointment is at 8 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours from now. I remember getting out of bed that morning, and when I pulled off the sheets, felt absolutely miserable, soaked in withdrawal sweat, and as soon as a little breeze hit my body, hit the skin, you know what I mean? I felt like I was naked outside in a fucking blizzard. Doing anything was incredibly uncomfortable. Even just getting dressed, even just the act of putting on clothes was incredibly uncomfortable, as the clothing just rubs against your incredibly sensitive skin. My mom and I get ready, right? And we're getting ready to hop into her car to drive down to the VA hospital. And as soon as we get into her car, the very first thing that I did was turn the heater on, full blast. And mind you, it's in the middle of summertime. We're talking the end of August in Las Vegas, the heat. So we make the 20-minute drive all the way up to the VA hospital. And when we get there, the very first thing that I'm supposed to do is give them a urine drug test. Keep in mind that the results of this drug test can take up to 2 hours before they are ready and complete for your doctor to review them. So we walk up to the lab, and the very first thing you gotta do is go up to this little kiosk, and this is where you check in, you type in all your information, and it spits out this ticket for you to hop in the line. And it spits out the ticket, and I remember taking a look at this ticket and it says 117. I'm like looking around, I look up at the board and it's like calling number 25. And of course, you know, I'm just like, fuck, man. We ended up waiting an entire hour at the lab, literally just to piss inside of a cup. And also the hospital was absolutely freezing, and so that was awesome. It's now 7:45 a.m. and I'm just like, hell yeah, because my Suboxone appointment starting in the next 15 minutes, I'm thinking. And so we go ahead and we head on down to that behavioral health clinic. I walk into the clinic and I head to the front desk to go talk to the people at the front desk to check in for my 8 o'clock appointment. It's supposed to be in 10 minutes. Guy checks me in, he tells me, hey, go have a seat, they're gonna call you back whenever they're ready. Boom, just like that, 20 minutes goes right by. I'm over here just like looking up at the clock, you know, bruh, it's already 10 minutes past this appointment, and it's just like, you know, waiting on anything during withdrawal makes it worse. Another 20 minutes goes by, and in a hasty attempt to find some comfort, I end up just sprawling out, laying down on the cold hard ground in the middle of the behavioral health waiting room. Sometimes literally laying on the cold hard ground would actually give me some relief during withdrawal. I don't know why. So now, it's about an hour past my appointment. We're still waiting in the waiting room. I'm dying over here, and I'm about to lose it. Like, for real, I'm starting to trip out. I even started to think, like, this might be some type of fuck game or something. Like, as if I'm not getting help at all today. Because that's pretty much what happened the last time I showed up here. And to be honest, nobody at that front desk had any idea why I'd been waiting out there for 2 hours already, withdrawing my ass off. Then all of a sudden, the nurse comes running out to the waiting room, and she's all like, you know, the reason why it's taking so long is because the doctor's got to see the results of your urine drug test before they can call you back. I'm over here just thinking to myself like, bro, y'all already know this shit's about to be positive, bro. Come on, dog. You told me to go home, use just a little bit. Come on, dude. It's gonna be positive. I end up just pacing all around this place, all around the clinic, inside and out, trying to warm myself up because I'm freezing inside, and then I go outside for a little bit too long, and now I'm fucking sweating my ass off, too hot. So in and out, pacing back and forth. This went on for a good another hour at least. Finally, after about 3 gruesome hours of withdrawing in that waiting room, they finally called me back. Me and my mom, we get into that doctor's office, and the nurse is in there and the doctor's in there as well. and they begin asking me all the questions, mainly the COWS test, the Clinical Opiate Withdrawal Scale, which is their way of determining, you know, whether or not you're in severe enough withdrawal, so that way you don't go into precipitated whenever you take the Suboxone. Then the doctor starts going over my lab results right there in front of me and my mom, unfortunately. And she's just like, yeah, so you came up positive for THC, heroin, cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine. And for some reason, I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't want to admit the meth part about all of this to my mother. And so I was just like, what? I never did any meth? That's fucked up. For some reason, they actually ended up believing me. And they pretty much just chalked it all up to the cartels just putting that in there sometimes, because that's just what they do. And after all of this was said and done, my doctor's just like, okay, your dose of Suboxone is ready for you to pick up at the pharmacy. And I'm just like, bro, what? At the pharmacy? You mean to tell me that I literally need to go to the pharmacy and wait another hour and a half just for one dose, one pill? Guys, you see, because I thought that when you went to the Suboxone clinic, that they had the Suboxone at the clinic. Like, I thought they were gonna give me my first dose right then and there. Not that I had to go wait and pick it up first and bring it back to you, because that's what they wanted me to do. Not only did I have to go pick this up and wait for it, then I had to go ahead and bring it back so that way they could watch me take the first dose personally. Luckily, you know, most of the VA hospitals, they have a pharmacy built in, and so that's how this one was here in Las Vegas, so I didn't have to go like off-site or anything like that, but I did still have to go to another place in the hospital, wait in another long ass line, and go pick up this script. It took about 30 minutes, and after the 30 minutes of waiting around, you know, we go back into the Suboxone clinic, and thankfully the nurse was already there waiting on me to, you know, take this first dose. So I walk up to her and I hand her the bottle that I had just picked up, and she goes ahead, she opens it up, and then she just dumps the pills into my hand. She asks me, hold out your hand, dumps the pills out, and then she tells me to put the pills underneath my tongue, make sure that they're there. She's like, make sure they're there, you know what I mean, all this sort of thing. And she watches me take them, watches me sublingually dissolve them. The dose that they had just given me was 2 of the 2 milligram pills, so it was 4 milligrams in total, 4 milligrams of the bupe. After about like 10 minutes or so, the nurse asks me, you know, how do you feel? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, honest to God, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel a damn bit different. Not any better, but not any worse either though. By now, I am just completely unmotivated. My motivation is erased, completely gone, you know, bummed out basically that it's not working. And I don't know what to do, and they're just, you know, they could see I'm visually stressed about this, right? And that it looks like I'm probably about to give up or something, and they're just like, you know, go get some lunch, calm down, you know, let it kick in and this, that, and the other. Go get some lunch, come back, we'll have you take the second dose in a little while. So that's what we did. Me and my mother, we went to this Raising Cane's, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I went over there, we got there, and I ordered a 3-piece chicken, you know, piece meal or whatever. And honestly, I could only eat like one of the pieces because I had no appetite. I was still withdrawing. I was still like feeling like shit. So I could literally only eat one of the pieces. So it's about like 2 hours later, and we're headed to the pharmacy to go ahead and pick up that second dose. And when we do, we get it and we get to the clinic, but this time they actually tell me to go ahead, bring it home, and take this dose later on that night at around 6 p.m. they told me. My mom and I, we get home, and that entire rest of the day and night was absolutely brutal. 6 o'clock rolls around and I take that second dose, and guess what, guys? Nothing. Quick side note too, by the way, because the whole reason why this is even going on in the first place, the problem is fentanyl. Fentanyl will stick around in your body longer than you think. Fentanyl is actually lipophilic, which means that it sticks to your fat cells similar to how THC and marijuana does. And what it does is it re-releases, slow releases back into the bloodstream, causing it to interact with your opioid receptors and totally interfering with the whole Suboxone induction process. Fentanyl will screw over your Suboxone induction, let me tell you. It'll make you feel like the shit doesn't work. It'll make you feel like it's completely bogus, because that is exactly how it had me feeling. Later on that day, my mom had ended up going to the store, leaving me at home, and like I said, the subs were doing absolutely nothing for me. So now I'm at home by myself, and unfortunately, I start to get back into my head, and the junkie mindset and all those thoughts start really creeping back in. And unfortunately, what did I do? I ended up calling back that friend that Cassie had introduced me to, so that way I could try to go pick up that night. She didn't actually answer when I called, but I knew she was gonna be home, and I knew she was gonna have some dope, or at least a connect to go get it or something like that. I knew I'd figure it out, and so I said screw it, and I hopped in the car and I headed straight to her house just to knock on the door. She answers the door and she seemed a little bit surprised and everything, but she pretty much knew why I was there. She told me that I could have the rest of the dope that she actually had if I could get her some meth. And no bullshit, at this time, I actually had some. I actually had some buried out in the desert right by my dad's house, because that's what I did with it before I left. Like before I had dipped out of there completely, I made sure to go hide stuff like that so that way he wouldn't find it, while I was gone basically. I ended up convincing her to give me a few hits right then and there, right now, so that way I could get well, you know what I mean, and actually carry out this mission. And so that's exactly what I did. Smoking heroin or fentanyl for me while taking Suboxone pretty much almost does nothing except for get me out of the withdrawal, bring me out of the withdrawal. However, it does not provide any of the euphoric effects. And like I said, after I had smoked that piece that she gave me, I couldn't get high. Like, I literally could not feel the euphoria from the drug, but it did bring the withdrawal away. I felt normal, but I wouldn't feel the high. I couldn't. It was the weirdest thing. I get well and I take off to go grab her this meth, and it probably takes me about 30 minutes or so to get there and back to her place. And I get back, I knock on the door, she opens the door, I give her the stuff, and then she hands me the rest of her dope. And at this point, I'm really thinking to myself, like, I really seriously hope this Suboxone starts to actually work, because I gotta piss clean in like the next 3 days or so at this Suboxone appointment. And not to mention, I got another Suboxone appointment at 8 o'clock the next morning. So I get home and it's like 8 p.m. or so, and I pretty much just tell my mom the same old BS story. Oh, I'm out, just talking with friends, this, that, and the other. And I go into my room and I pretty much just pass out. So I wake up and it's the morning of September 1st. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning, and my second Suboxone appointment is in about 2 hours. When I wake up that morning, I felt fucking amazing. And what I mean by that is fucking horrible. So every appointment is pretty much the same, I show up, I gotta go give them a urine sample, and I go to the behavioral health clinic, sit in the waiting room, and wait. Thank God this time wasn't another 4-hour wait in the waiting room. So we get back into the doctor's office, me and my mom, and the doctor starts asking me, how are you feeling? How's the medication working? And how are your cravings? And I tell her straight up, this shit ain't working. Ever since I took the first and second dose yesterday, I haven't felt a fuck bit different. She kind of just blows that off, and she takes a second look at my drug test. She goes, you're positive for THC, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in a confirmation test to make sure that it's not synthetic marijuana. Bro, I was absolutely speechless, son. I'm over here just like, dude, you're a doctor, and you literally think that I'm feeling this way because I smoked some spice? Or that like I'm withdrawing from spice? I never even smoked that before, alright? That THC came directly out of a licensed dispensary. I honestly couldn't even believe that she was seriously trying to suggest this to me. So at this point, I'm just done. And I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to take my damn next dose of Suboxone. However, you know what? I can't lie, and I should say this, that even on the first 2 doses, the day prior, the very first day, on the very first 2 doses, I did feel some relief, right? All it did though was take just the edge off, like the very bad part. That's the only thing it helped. All of the rest of the symptoms though were still there, totally. After the visit with the doctor was over, same thing happens. She writes my script, tells me to go to the pharmacy, wait around so that way I can pick it up and bring it back to the nurse so that way they can watch me take it again. This time though, it was an 8mg Suboxone pill. The nurse opens up the bottle and dumps the little 8mg pill into my hand. Once again, I put it in my mouth, underneath the tongue, let it dissolve completely, 20 minutes long and everything, and guess what? Absolutely nothing. This fentanyl damn near made my Suboxone induction completely impossible. This stuff is something else, man, and I'm being serious. Like, it made me seriously question whether or not this was even gonna happen. I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it through this, you know? I thought I was gonna have to quit. I thought I was gonna have to get on methadone or something like that, you know, because I knew at least methadone was gonna work instantly, right away, the first dose. But I was determined. I was determined to get on the subs because mainly I just wanted the freedom, or the more freedom that it comes with, you know what I mean? I didn't have to go to the clinic every single day like I would have had to if I chose the methadone route. Luckily, this time the pharmacy gave me both the doses, both the morning and the afternoon, so I didn't have to go there twice in one day. And so they tell me and my mom that we're good to go home, and that we still need to come back in the morning again. First thing I do when I get home was smoke some weed, alright? And the reason was because I was seriously trying to not use. Like, I was seriously trying to just make it, you know, through whatever I had to do with just the subs and maybe just a little bit of pot, you know what I mean? But of course, the junkie inside me was way stronger at that time, and it took over. And so of course, I end up hitting Cassie's friend up once again. She actually answered the phone this time, and when she did, I asked her right away. I was like, yo, are you home, and do you got anything on you? She says, yes, I am home, but no, I don't got anything on me. But do you have any money? I give her the old junkie answer of, yeah, you know, I got money, I just gotta go pick it up first. And so she says, okay, come over when you got the money. I'm over here thinking to myself, bro, I know she has something. It's already late in the afternoon. There's no way this lady does not have her dope yet. I know she's got it already. So I took a gamble, and I head straight to her house, straight to the place, knock on the door, boom, 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 boom. She answers the door, and she's all like, you got it already? I walk up in there, and I'm just like, no, but come on, man, please hook it up. Like, I just need one hit. Please just help me get through. Get me well real quick, and then I'm gonna leave and go get this money. Somehow it worked. And she goes and walks over to her drawer, opens it up, pulls out this little black bag, and inside, of course, was the precious black stone. I pull out all my smoking gear, and I threw the piece down that she gave me on the foil, and I smoked that entire piece. This time, it really barely did anything, because the Suboxone was really in my system now at this point. You know, I'm already taking full doses of it, and I'm still trying to smoke on top of it. No euphoria, but it did bring me out of the withdrawal. The one thing though that I can tell you that it definitely did do though, unfortunately, was just make me want more. And so naturally, that was the next thing on my list of what I needed to do. But unfortunately, I didn't have any money, and I had no way of making it, I had no way of getting any. So I resorted to doing some of the shadiest, or one of the shadiest things I feel like I've ever done in my life. I call up my dad and I shoot him a straight lie, unfortunately. And I come up with this whole story about how my debit card is shut off, I'm in a pickle right now, and I don't have any access to my money. But you see, guys, what was actually going on was that I had totally destroyed my financial health, my financial life, and what was going on was that my bank at the time, USAA, was shutting off my account from all the shit that I had done to them. And so my account was already frozen at this point, so like I didn't even have access to any part of that account at all. But I couldn't let my dad know that, because then the rest of my little story obviously would not make sense. I asked him if he could send me some money over to my Apple Pay account, and that I would write him a physical check so that way he could just go cash that and then he'd get his money back, because he's thinking that just my debit card isn't working, not that the whole bank account is frozen. So he ends up sending me $180 to my Apple Pay, and I literally wrote him a bad check delivered it to him in person at his house. He tried to cash it, and of course that thing bounced later on. I hurried back to this girl's house so that way we could hop into the car and go meet her dealer. So that's exactly what we did. You know, I go grab her, I pick her up, and we're off to her drug dealer's house. When we get there, we're in this really scary back alley area of Las Vegas, East Las Vegas in the hood. It's totally pitch black outside, and I remember I back my car into the parking spot and I just look over at her and I'm just like, please dude, make this shit quick. After about 10-15 minutes or so, she hops back in the car and we're driving off. And like I said, we're not in the best part of Las Vegas. There's not very many cars on the street. It's pitch black outside and there is a lot of fucking cops out here, guys. And so when I was driving, all I could do was stare in that rear view mirror and look in these side views, just waiting for a cop to just roll right behind me. Miraculously, we make it back to her house unscathed, you know what I'm saying, untouched. And what we do, we end up divvying up all the stuff that we had just picked up because I had to pay her back, number one, from all the stuff that she had just given me beforehand, and number two, she ended up kind of talking me into giving her some extra on top of it, unfortunately. I ended up smoking every last piece of that dope that I had left, even though it was doing absolutely nothing for me. No euphoria, I was barely even feeling it, but I still did every single bit of it. Part of it, I think, was just my thinking of, oh, if I do everything right now, of course I'm not gonna have anything for the morning, and if that's somehow gonna just help me get clean. Part of it, I think, was me just thinking that, you know, if I get rid of it all now, obviously I won't have any in the morning, and so somehow that's gonna help me, you know, stay and get clean. Negative, boy. I get home and I am exhausted, guys, from just going in and out of withdrawal for about 2 weeks straight, doing all of this crazy stuff, running around, you know what I mean? And so I lay down and I'm getting ready to pass out, but not until I start to worry about tomorrow's Suboxone appointment. And guess what, guys? I really apologize, but I'm a complete liar because I'm gonna have to drop a part 4 on you all. The reason why, I couldn't put it all into one video. It's a very long video, so I'm breaking it up into one more part. Part 4 coming soon. Stay tuned for that one. You don't want to miss it, I promise you that. And as always, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Leave some comments down below letting me know what you guys thought about the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I see 80% of you guys are not subscribed, so subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the post notification bell, switch it to all, and don't forget to check out all the links down in the description. Join my Discord server, all that good stuff, guys. I really appreciate it. I love every single one of you. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8-day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon.